right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's show. My name is Spencer Walsh. On today's show, Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg vows to bolster privacy amid data crisis. He is in a lot of trouble right now. The press is piling on, and it's not looking good. The Saudi Crown Prince boasted that Jared Kushner was in his pocket, under his control, and Lucky Break's video and Pink Gloves reportedly led to the Austin bombing suspect. How that happened later on in today's show. All right, we have a great show for you today. Thanks so much for joining us, and we will get you right to it. All right, so this is this is going to be a good show, and we are very busy today as always. All right, so here's how we start. So Facebook's chief executive, Mark Zuckerberg, on Wednesday publicly addressed for the first time the misuse of data belonging to 50 million users of the social network, and described the steps the company would take to safeguard the information of its more than 2 billion monthly users, which, by the way, is bigger than some religions, which is pretty incredible. Although his statement addressed kind of a chorus of criticism that fell short of a full-throated apology, Zuckerberg said that Facebook would contact users whose data had been harvested through a personality quiz app and passed along to a political data firm, Cambridge Analytica. We have a responsibility to protect your data, Zuckerberg said, and if we can't, then we don't deserve to serve you. Well, he's definitely right about that, and he's kind of over-dramatizing. It's like, just serve me. Just keep my data safe. When I sign up with you, I expect that you guys run your company a little bit more professionally, because this is a Facebook and you have 2 billion users. Like, literally 2 billion users. It's kind of crazy. That this is already, it's just becoming such an unbelievable problem that this is what we have to go to, and it's Facebook. It just should be run better. It is so annoying, just from a perspective of someone who could imagine being on Facebook but never has been. Actually, do I have a Facebook account? Well, my data could have been sold. That would be unfortunate. I think we have one for Spencer Walsh Radio Network, but I don't really know. Zuckerberg, 33, was trying to quell crisis over the disclosure last weekend that Cambridge Analytica had used data that had been improperly obtained from Facebook as the firm worked on behalf of Donald Trump's presidential campaign. Are there other Cambridge Analyticas out there? Zuckerberg said later in an interview with the New York Times. He added, were there apps which could have gotten access to more information, potentially sold it without us knowing, or done something that violated people's trust? We need to make sure we get that under control. All right, so Zuckerberg said the company would investigate apps like the third-party quiz app that had previously obtained large amounts of information from the social network. And the thing is, on a lot of apps, a lot of services, you can sign in with Facebook. Like, if you want to start an account, sign in with Facebook, and it goes so much quicker. And that gives that app the data as well, because they're making an account for you on that app, which can be a little bit unfortunate. So I wonder what that app was, the third party quiz app, and that doesn't seem to be it. Some seem to really be in here, but anyway, we also made mistakes. There's more to do, and we need to step up and do it, he wrote in his Facebook statement. The Cambridge Analytica revelations added to the questions that have been raised about Facebook's handling of user data and security. The questions have only intensified as the company faced criticism over its role in its platform played in the Russian attempts to influence the 2016 elections and the way it has been used to spread misinformation on the internet. So, the resulting backlash is Facebook's worst crisis yet since it was founded by Zuckerberg and others in 2004. I'm only a few years older than it. The information, photos, and other content that users post and their frequent engagement with the platform is crucial to the social network and to the company's profitability. I mean, I think he lost something like, I don't know, but he's still $66 billion on his net worth. left. I don't need to Google this because this is a big hit that he just took right here. Mark Zuckerberg net worth. Oh, actually, he was born in White Plains apparently. Salary apparently is a $1 salary. That I doubt that's true. But yeah, and if you it's very interesting. If you Google Mark Zuckerberg, funny. If you Google Mark Zuckerberg on Google, it's pretty much all. It's just a bunch of senators asking him to testify before Congress. That's what shows up. Ed Markey, Amy Klobuchar, and Mark Warner, among others, have asked him to testify among Congress. Yeah, people are calling to delete Facebook. People are calling to regulate Facebook. So it is quite a little bit disturbing when you get someone like that. So it is. He is getting really hammered for it. His network is really. Facebook's value plunged $37 billion on this data controversy. It's a huge hit. Let's see. I just want to see here how much he lost out of his net worth. He owns $70 billion worth of Facebook shares. It's enough to make him the 6th richest man in the world, but that really took him a hit. That took a big, made him take a big hit on his net worth over time there. So, yeah, there is that. So last Friday, after the New York Times, The Observer of London, Channel 4, and Channel 4 in Britain told Facebook that Cambridge Analytica had not deleted all the data it had obtained. The social network banned the political consulting firm and Alexander Kogan, the Cambridge University researcher that created the personality quiz app that was used to harvest user data. This was a breach of trust between Kogan, Cambridge Analytica, and Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg wrote on Wednesday. But it was also a breach of trust between Facebook and the people who shared the data with us and expect us to protect it. Well, duh. Like, all these things are saying it's pretty painfully obvious, but I guess it just kind of feels good to actually have someone say them, like, know that they're being acknowledged here. The fact that it's just so painfully obvious that, like, dude, let's get something on it. And yeah, people really are putting the pressure on him now. And I don't really know whether like deleting Facebook is the right thing. I mean, I guess it is. I don't really like it that much. It's kind of a little bit the way he made it is just centered on greed, betrayal, and like ripping the people the hell off. It's not cool at all. And like if you watch, so I know it's not like the most fair portrayal of him, the movie The Social Network, but a lot of it's accurate. He looks at kind of it. It's looked at kind of in a very harsh way, but a lot of it, like the basic details are accurate, and the fact that what he did to his like high school friend or college friend at Harvard or Cambridge or no, he went to Harvard. It just shows you like that's the type of guy he is. He's built this company on literally nothing but greed, on top of greed, on top of more greed, and now when you alienate all these people, for example, like the news media was supposed to be in a good working partnership with Facebook, and put their stories on there, put instant clicks on there, put instant articles on there, make really strengthen ties. But then they just got ripped off for more money, and again and again and again and again. That process kind of really sunk them. But yeah, now that you got that going on, it is really tough to rely on friends to get you out of this situation. The reaction to the Cambridge Analytica data disclosure has been severe. Politicians in the U.S. and Britain has called for Zuckerberg to explain how his company handles user data, and the state attorneys general in Massachusetts and New York have begun investigating Cambridge Analytica and Facebook. A delete Facebook movement calling on people to close their accounts has also gathered steam. Yeah, in Washington, there's been more calls for regulation of internet companies like Facebook. Mr. Zuckerberg's troubles there were illustrated by the final passage on Wednesday of a bill to combat sex trafficking. The bill will lift liability protection on internet companies that enjoyed content that users post on their platforms. Facebook and other internet giants have quietly fought the bill for more than a year, but then they eventually dropped their opposition. So, Yeah, so that was a sex trafficking bill that they were fighting, and now that we know, this is kind of an interesting little tidbit here. So Mark Zuckerberg, he was fighting this bill to combat sex trafficking. The bill would lift liability protections that internet companies have enjoyed for content that users post on their platforms. Facebook was fighting that, so that does not look very good at all. Lawmakers who have demanded that Zuckerberg testify before Congress about Facebook's relationship with Cambridge Analytica were not appeased by his statement. You need to come before Congress and testify under oath, Senator Ed Markey, Democrat of Massachusetts, tweeted in response to Zuckerberg's post. Independent researchers who have used data from Facebook said that Zuckerberg's statements did not acknowledge how the gathering of user data was fundamental for the company's operations. He avoided the big issue, which is that for many years, Facebook was basically giving away user data like it was handing out candy. John Albright, the researcher of the Toast Center for Digital Journalism at Columbia University, there is no question that handing out that data made Facebook the success it is as a company. This has to be recognized as part of their business model and not just a one-off problem. That'll be very interesting. And it's something that if there is more, now is the time it's going to come out. If they have some sort of kind of, if they have some sort of kind of like syncopatic like relationship, if that's the word, that they can release data when they really should not be releasing data. That'll be very interesting. That'll be a problem, and we need to really investigate that. In 2013, Kogan, the Cambridge researcher, created a personality quiz app with that about 300,000 people installed. I wonder what the app was called. Hopefully I didn't install it. But Mr. Zuckerberg wrote, because Facebook was an open platform, Kogan was able to collect data on tens of millions of friends of those users who had installed the personality quiz app. So he was able to, not just those people, not just those 300,000 people who installed the app, but all their entire Facebook friends. So that's the problem. A year later, Zuckerberg said Facebook changed its policies to limit how much data third-party apps could access. These actions would prevent any app like Kogan's from being able to access so much data today. By 2015, Kogan had shared his data and findings with Cambridge Analytica, which later used the material to single out American voters. Zuckerberg said Facebook had banned Kogan's app and demanded that the researcher and Cambridge Analytica formally certify that the data had been deleted. He did not address in his post why Facebook had not already disclosed these activities to its users whose data had been harvested by Kogan and Cambridge Analytica. There's only two answers to that question. A, they had no idea, and that's their fault. And B, which is also their fault, so they don't really come out looking good on this, they hid it because they wanted to protect their financial... They wanted to protect their pockets here by keeping a calm boat, or maybe there's some other kind of deal that they have. Yeah, so whenever there's an issue, when someone's data gets passed to someone who rules... who the rules of the system shouldn't allow to, it's rightfully a big issue and deserves to be an uproar, Zuckerberg said in an interview. In an uproar you are about to get, Mr. Zuckerberg. You are not in a very good position right now, to say the least. This is the Spencer Walsh Radio Network. Your show will return in just 4 minutes.
Pendo on the beat.